Hi, I'm Mark Walker, and welcome to Fierce Encouragement. This is your weekly guide to mastering your mindset, finding mental balance, and building a stronger, more positive self-image. Now, I created this podcast for leaders and lifelong learners, people like yourself who are ready to bring more clarity and purpose to their goals and their projects in life. Now, each episode is grounded in modern scientific insights and even ancient wisdom practices, giving you some powerful strategies to help move forward with confidence and focus in your own life. So let's tap into your potential, let's cut through that noise, and let's create a life of meaning and leadership that feels inspiring and aligned. It's time to embody fierce encouragement, starting right now. So the title of this podcast today is called Accountability, Action, and the Truth About Coaching. So recently I had a client that backed away from coaching, and coaching isn't for everybody. It's not intended to be, as I've had one of my coaches say to me in the past, nobody needs coaching, but most of us can stand to benefit from it, whether it's in our relationships, whether it's in our exercise routines, or whether it's in our work, getting that accountability and encouragement. So this client recently said to me, "Hey Mark, I don't think coaching is for me. It feels too much like therapy, and I already have a therapist. Thanks anyways." Now, if you've ever had somebody say this to you, or you've heard yourself saying it, well, you're not alone. And today I just wanted to take some time and break down the difference between coaching and therapy from my point of view, and more importantly, why they can work together and help you thrive. So the first thing is that I'd like to address, or the first point I'd like to talk about, is coaching is about action and not healing. So therapy focuses on helping you understand your past, whereas coaching focuses on helping you create and form and mold your future. Now, they obviously overlap, but when we look at therapy, and I've had clients that I've worked with for long periods of time, and they've actually gone back to therapy, kind of realizing they had some deeper inner work and some healing to do on the emotional side, maybe things in their past that they didn't understand, maybe patterns in their life that are kind of repeating themselves. Coaching is more about how we can use some of those insights we get from therapy or from that deeper inner work and turn them into action steps or plans, and getting that accountability to move forward on those projects. So, one instance or one story from my life is getting a career coach to really help me, number one, get the accountability. I needed to take direct steps when I was going through a technical training program and moving from a support and technical writing area into development and project management. And a coach at that point was so fundamental for me, number one, on a mindset standpoint, but secondly, on helping me set goals and emphasizing those and building literal strategies for my day-to-day, my hour-to-hour work. And even more importantly was the weekly check-ins I had with that coach and that career counselor. They helped me take measurable, actionable steps towards progress and getting my mind right, but also making sure that my actions were aligned with the goals and the aims that I had in my life. So coaching is about action. It's not about healing. And I think that's a big distinction and a big point that coaches, even myself, I need to remember about when somebody's interested in getting help. Let's remember what coaching is. It's about helping you take action and not about that deep healing of wounds or emotional things that might be underneath those patterns we see in our lives. The second point I'd like to bring up when we talk about what coaching is and that accountability and the truth about what's really going on here, especially with this client that I had step away. The point I would like to kind of focus on here is accountability, and that feedback we get from a coach is really a strength. It's not a weakness. So accountability isn't something or something that somebody's doing for you. And I guess I felt that in the email and the conversation I had with this client who stepped away. They were actually embarrassed or kind of had this inner fight with themselves. And they said literally, like, I don't think you should have to hold me accountable. I should be accountable for that. And I just want to bring up, that's simply not true. Accountability isn't about having someone do it for you. It's about having a partner who ensures you don't settle for less in your life than you're really capable of. And I think that's really important. I have a coach. I've had therapy in my life. But when we kind of get these two things muddled or mixed up, I think it can do a disservice on both sides. So coaching is a great, great tool for helping you take steps forward. It provides accountability. It fundamentally helps you with encouraging and learning how to encourage yourself, maybe working on some of that self-image and those places where you're blocked and can't take action. It's really about keeping that momentum going. It's keeping it alive. It's getting that continual feedback loop so you can continue to step forward on those things that truly matter to you. And again, stepping towards those things you're capable of. We all, when we take on new projects or we want to go on new trips, it's great to have a guide. In fact, I was just traveling internationally and doing some training, and we had a great guide as we were going through the city. And honestly, if I didn't have that guide, if I didn't have that earpiece and the information coming in and talking about the places that we were visiting in Athens, Greece, I really wouldn't have had the depth and the appreciation and the experience that I did. So when we have a guide, when we have a coach, when we have an accountability partner, it helps us keep momentum alive, but it helps us go deeper. So I think it's important that we reframe coaching as a tool and an accountability tool that can help leaders and high achievers and people that want to elevate their game, whether, again, it's in their relationships or their energy and exercise or their diet, or even in their work. Again, this isn't a sign of weakness or a sign of lack in somebody. It's quite the opposite. It means that you're going to have a better experience. You're going to go faster, further than you would if you tried to do it on your own or kind of show yourself around the city of your life, trying to manufacture something and just realizing it's just going to be a little less intense and you're not going to be able to go as far, get deep into what you're doing. So that's the second point. Coaching and accountability is a strength. It is not a weakness. Getting that accountability is not a sign of your weakness. We all could use a little help. And then obviously we all could use that burgeoning of encouragement from within and letting somebody else kind of help encourage us. The third point I wanted to bring up and talk about is how coaching and therapy can be allies. Again, sometimes we get this combative either or kind of modality or thought process going on with coaching and therapy. Now, this isn't to discount the fact that coaching is very unregulated, and there's a lot of coaches out there who pretend they can heal somebody or kind of work out of the boundaries of coaching. And it's something we need to be very aware of in coaching. We need to measure and think about how important it is for us to kind of stay in our lane, staying in that encouraging mindset, holding people accountable to what they want to do, and then giving them that positive feedback. And maybe sometimes just being honest, with regards to what they're showing up to do and what they're not. But coaching and therapy can really be allies. If you have a good coach and a good accountability buddy in that sense, and a great therapist that helps you understand yourself more, coaching really helps us move forward, go forward with clarity and purpose and confidence. Again, therapy helps us understand ourselves in a deep, healing way. And coaching can help us continue to move forward with clarity and confidence if we've done that healing. So I've seen so many clients benefit from the therapeutic modes and modalities. I actually am friends with a lot of therapists. I had a great conversation with a family and marriage therapist this past week, and he's actually going for some coaching certification so that he can bring some of this forward thinking, this forward action momentum into his own therapeutic practice. And I asked him why. Don't you have everything you need? You've been doing this. I think he's been in the business for over 20 years. But he realized that therapy could kind of be limiting to the patient in a sense that they get stuck in those stories and those kind of closed loops. So when we see how therapy might kind of limit us or stop at some point, that's where coaching can come in. That's where encouragement and accountability for you taking steps forward, again, in simple ways, in positive ways, but also kind of challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone, to move 1% towards the things you want in life. So where therapy helps us heal, coaching can really help us build and act and go forward towards that vision for our future. Does it mean we'll always be perfect and everything will be easy? No. Quite the opposite. That's not the game we're playing. And in fact, if it's always easy and smooth, it probably is an indication that we might have some lower goals and we need to challenge ourselves a bit more. Again, as long as we have that healing and that therapeutic kind of benefit that we've been working on, that deeper vision. And honestly, as I kind of think about this and the client who's stepped away from coaching with me, and that's fine, it's great, it's actually a good way for me to step back and ask what went well, what needs work, and what's my plan going forward. But I wanted to share this because I believe that coaching helped him. We only had a few sessions together, but we made progress in his exercise and sleep regimen. Now, he's a high achiever. He is a leading executive at his company. And it was just amazing, some of the insights that he had. We need to remember those gains and the value that we get from showing up to coaching. We need to be self-encouraging, fiercely encourage ourselves, and remember, if you're open to it, that coaching and therapy, combining the two approaches, can really be a way to heal and move forward in our lives towards those bigger projects and goals, and maybe ultimately showing up as the better version of ourselves, not to have something idealized and perfect, but to remember that we don't want to hide from ourselves and kind of numb ourselves out and live our lives in a closed down kind of way. So thank you for listening. Again, my name is Mark Walker. Now, if you've ever felt stuck between needing some accountability in your life and wanting to figure it out on your own, I really strongly encourage you to rethink what coaching can offer. It is not therapy, but it can be your secret weapon for having clearer action, momentum, and digging into that deeper inner purpose. Now, if you're ready to take action on what I've talked about today and you'd like to take some steps forward, I'd love to invite you to a free 30-minute coaching call with me. Now, in this session, I want to help guide people through a simple breathing practice to help you deregulate your stress and boost your self-confidence and your self-encouragement. It's not about adding more to your plate. It really isn't. Sometimes we kind of take on this work of personal development and we think we need to add more goals and more targets and more things onto our plate. It isn't. More often than not, it's about giving yourself the space to feel more centered and capable in your work, in your exercise and movement practices, in your relationships. Now, if you're interested and that sounds like something you benefit from, a 30-minute consult coaching call, I'd love for you to reach out to me. I will leave a link in the description of the podcast to help you book your call. But I really would appreciate and love to connect with you and just give you a small taste of what's possible as we look at coaching and helping you move towards with action, clarity, and momentum. So again, my name is Mark Walker. Thank you very much for listening. Let me know if I can help you with a free 30-minute coaching call. Otherwise, have a great day or a great evening and fiercely encourage yourself. All right, take care. Bye-bye.